First, we're going to review what the Pythagorean theorem is, and then get into its converse and the distance formula. So, take a brief second, make sure you have your notes, and let's get ready. So, this statement says, if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which is our formula, is true for the side lengths of the triangle, then the triangle is a right triangle. Okay, so let's look at our triangle here. Let's review some vocab. Our hypotenuse is the longest side, is our C as well, but it's the longest side. Okay, which is also known as the letter C. And our legs are the two shorter sides. Which would leave it as A and B. Okay, we also have a right angle, which tells us that it's 90 degrees. Okay, so let's label those. So I have my A here, I have my B, because both of these are my legs. And the longest side right here is C, and this is my hypotenuse. So basically the formula is saying a squared plus b squared equals c squared is saying I'm going to take one of my legs and square it, meaning I'm going to multiply it by itself. I'm going to add it to my second leg that's squared, and it is going to equal, or it should, because if it is a right triangle, it should equal my hypotenuse squared. Okay, take a moment, make sure you have these vocab words down because it will be coming in handy soon. So now we're going to do two practice examples. We're going to identify if it is a right triangle, meaning we're going to use our formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared to show that it is a right triangle. So, letting you know now, just because it doesn't have the right triangle, the right square in the corner, doesn't mean it's not a right triangle. So let's prove these by using the formula. So I have a squared plus b squared equals my c squared. I know instantly that this is my hypotenuse because it is the largest amount. It's the longest side. So this is my hypotenuse. And now I know that both of those are my legs. So I'm going to have a squared be 9. I'm going to have b squared be 40. And my c squared is 41 squared. I know that 9 times 9 is 81. And I know that 40 times 40 is 1600. The reason why I knew this is because 4 times 4 is 16. And when I'm multiplying two 40s together, or two numbers that end in 0, I'm just going to add the two zeros. Now I'm going to do 41 times 41, which is 1681. You can use a calculator for this one, or what you can do is multiply off to the side. So I'm going to add these two numbers together. I have 1681 equals 1681. I know that this is a right triangle, so boom, this is a right triangle. So now we're going to try our second example. The longest side is right here, which is my hypotenuse, that is 24. So I'm going to also label that as my hypotenuse as well. I'm going to take my formula again, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It's important to make sure that you write down the formula every time so that way you know what letters you're dealing with and which one's the hypotenuse so you can remember. So I know that this is going to be my c, so I can instantly fill that in with 24 squared. And both of these are going to be my legs. So I'm going to have 12 squared plus 18 squared. And 12 squared, I know off the top of my head, is 144. Okay, and then I have 18 squared, which is 324. You can use a calculator or you can do it off to the side. So I'm going to do 24 times 24. Off to the side, 16. I want you to try it yourself before you see how I'm doing it. Okay, I have 6 here, I have 17, and I end up with 576. So now I'm going to add my two legs together to make sure that it equals my 576. So I have 324 plus 144. 4 and 4 is 8. 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, and 4. So I get 468. Well, do these have the same numbers? Are they the same number? No, they're not. Remember, you need to put a slash through the equal sign to tell us, hey, this is not a right triangle, and right, not a right triangle. Okay, take a brief moment, write this down, pause it at any time. So now we're going to view how to plot points, because I know it's been a while, so I want to make sure that you guys know how to do it. So I know that this is my x-axis because it's horizontal, so my x-axis is horizontal. And I know my y-axis is going to be vertical then. Make sure you're writing these vocabs down as well. So looking at my coordinate right here, I know that x is first on a point, and I know that y is second. So I need to label those x and y. Okay, so now there's my x-axis. I always start at 0, 0, move from left to right, and then from that point on, I'm going to move up and down. So first, let's determine what each of these coordinates or quadrants are. So I know that my x is going to be positive based on here, and my y is going to be positive as well. I know that this is going to be positive, positive. If I move to the bottom one here, I know my x is going to be positive, and my y is going to be negative numbers. So I have plus, or positive and negative. Now if I move over here, my x's are negative as well as my y's, so I'm going to have negative, negative. And finally over here, my x's are negative, but my y's are positive. So if you label each of those coordinates every time, or remember about which one it is, then you're going to ace everything in the world. So let's start with 0, 0 and move over to 4 on the x-axis. And then it's telling me go up from there 5. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to put a point there. Then I'm going to take my second point. I have negative 3, and then I'm going to go down negative 2 for that second point. So take a moment, make sure that you know what your x and y axes are, and that x is always first, so I'll put first and then second for you. So now let's calculate Pythagorean theorem on a coordinate plane. So the first thing, it says I need to plot the points. So I'm going to label them x, y, x, y, and I'm going to label my axis x, y, in order to make sure that I know what I am going to plot and plot correctly. I'm going to start at 0, 0. I'm going to go over to 7 on the x-axis and go all the way up to 8 and put a dot. That's my first point. Now I'm going to plot my second point at 4, 4. Start at 0, move to the right 4, and go up to 4. Perfect. I finished my first direction. Second, it says draw a straight line to connect the 2 points. So I'm going to take my trusty ruler and I'm going to draw a line, a straight line connecting the 2 points. You might be questioning, well, why? What does that have to do with anything? You'll see in just 1 second. So I'm going to check that off. 3, I need to create a triangle from the 2 points. Well, visually, I can see there's kind of a triangle, there's a triangle right here, and then I have another one going up and over. So first, I'm going to draw my triangle. I'm going to start with my first point. I'm going to go down for this triangle. And then from there, I'm going to go straight over to create the triangle. Perfect. I'm going to check that one off. So for step 4, we're going to calculate the distance of each leg by counting the squares. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my legs right here. I know that this is A, so I'm going to label that A, and I'm going to label this one B, and I know that this is C because it's the longest side, right? So to be aware, for step number 4, we have to calculate the distance of each leg by counting the squares. Each time, it might not be counting the x-axis and the y-axis, might not be counting by 1s. They might be counting by 2s, 3s, 5s, 10s, and so on. So I first need to be aware that it is counting by 1s. So what I'm going to do is count how many squares are right here. I'm going to count the total number of squares lining this side. So I can see that this is 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So I know my A is 4. Now I'm going to do my B, and I'm going to count the same sides from this point all the way to the edge here. And that looks like 1, 2, and 3. So my B is 3. Now I technically 100% can't count this. Look, it's cutting halfway through the box. There's like a little bit of this box and a lot of that box. Like there's no possible way that you can count those. So for step 5, what we're going to do is we're going to use the Pythagorean Theorem to find the hypotenuse, which is also known as C. So I'm going to move this up just a little bit. If you need to pause it now so you can finish taking those notes. Okay. So I have my A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's my formula. I already know that A is 4, so I'm going to plug in 4 here. 4 squared plus my B, which is 3, because that's how many squares it is, equals, and I don't know what C is, so I'm going to leave it completely alone. Don't even touch it yet. Okay, now 4 squared is going to be 4 times 4, which is 16, plus 9, because 3 times 3 equals 9, equals my C squared. Now at this point, what you need to do is we're going to add the two legs together. 16 plus 9 equals 25. And I still have my C squared. So we're not done because C is not alone. I still have my square here. The opposite of a squared number, and I want you to write this down somewhere on your paper. The opposite of a squared number, so this means like 2 squared, okay? The opposite of that is going to be square root. So that is a number squared. So the square root of 25 is going to be 5. If you didn't know this, make sure that you practice your perfect squares. It's highly important. Now get ready to do the rest on your own.